Hey, Sam Strains here, welcome back to the Railway and welcome back to another Thomas and Friends character unboxing. Today, as you can see, I'm going to be looking at Edward, and he's quite old-fashioned. Well, people say he's old-fashioned, but he doesn't care. And yes, this will be the final Hornby Thomas and Friends locomotive. They don't do any more than this at the moment. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys as to what I look at next. I already have the Bachmann Emily, so I'll be showing that next. But other than that, it's up to you. So yeah, Hornby do a few more, well they used to, that are discontinued. So I could try and get hold of some of those. And also, of course, Bachmann do quite a few different Thomas models as well. So if you have an idea for a character that I should look at next time, or after I've done Emily, please let me know in the comments and I will do that. But for now then, let's have a look at Edward the Blue Engine. I'll pop his box down then. And as you can tell, he is in the same packaging that all of the Hornby Thomas range are in, so I'm not going to show that for very long, but I will show you what's on the end of the box, because you can see his R number, which is R9289, and yes, he is Edward. But apart from that, it is all the same. You can just see the rest of the range on the back, for example. But yep, you can tell that he's just desperate to come out of his packaging at last, isn't he? So let's do it. Let's get him out. So yeah, the last of the Hornby range. It's quite sad actually that I won't be opening any more Hornby ones, although I suppose I might if one of you guys suggest one. But let's have a quick look at the paperwork. I know it's not very interesting, so I'll do it quick. So this is for Edward, Gordon and James, so I will have shown you this before, but this is the operating and maintenance instructions, and inside it is just very basic. It just shows you how to oil the loco basically, and also fit a decoder if you wanted to. But that's all been done, that's all taken care of, so let's get him out then and let's see what he's like. Okay, I'll take the sleeve off and stand him up, and you just have to unclip here. It's very good packaging, this, it always is. It's got all the foam padding as well, which is great. Okay, let's take him out. There he is, Edward. Number 2, the Blue Engine, just like Gordon and Thomas. Yeah, what a lovely little model he is, and he looks so happy as well, look at that. Well, that's him then, that's Edward, and I'm going to get him reviewed in just a second, but first of all, here's a little bit about Edward's history. Edward was born as a Furness Railway K2 in 1896, making him one of the oldest engines on Sodor. Even though the other engines tease him because of his age, he's generally very knowledgeable and kind, always willing to teach the other engines a thing or two. As a very wise and reliable engine, Edward runs his own branch line with the help of Bill and Ben, and although he's now over 120 years old, he continues to work in television, voicing his character Edward in the new CGI series of Thomas and Friends. So there's Edward then, looking very, very smart up against the white background there, and yeah, he's probably one of the most detailed of the range. Anyway, I reckon this body was based on the old D49 body that Hornby used, and there are a couple of issues with that. First of all, because obviously he wasn't a D49, so it isn't correct, but also because if you look on the top, there's a big patch where you can see the old D49 dome used to be, and they've obviously just cut that from the tooling or whatever, and added this dome here. And similarly, you can see there are 2 other patches here where the old D49 safety valves used to be. So it's a little bit lazy, isn't it? Yeah, it's not quite correct, and it's got blemishes on it like that. But the good thing about it is there was quite a bit of detail on the D49, so you can see there's a lot of detail on Edward too. So you've got these little moulded pieces down here. I believe they might be the sanders or something like that. And the D49 also had glazed windows, so surprisingly Edward has those as well. So you should be very proud of those, Edward. Look at that smile. That is a really, really good face, isn't it? It's got to be one of the best faces. You can even see the creases near his eyes. It really is a good face. Separately fitted parts then, you have his whistle, which is a separately fitted piece, and it is metal, so that's very good. You also have his vacuum pipes fitted, which is a nice touch, and once again you have these flipping lamp irons, which are not in the right way. Now I always mention those, and people always say, oh, they've just been put in the wrong way, you can just take them out and glue them back in the right way. But the problem is Hornby glue them in the wrong way, meaning that you just can't get them back out again. I mean, you can pull them and you might be able to snap them off or whatever, but normally you just can't get them out without damaging them, and I don't want to damage him. So yeah, they've got to stay like that, but they do look a bit daft, and I suppose the shape of them means that you could definitely not put a lamp onto them. So that defeats the object of a lamp iron, but oh well, Edward still looks happy. And you can see that the paint job is very good on this one, much better than Gordon, in fact, if I can say that. That's probably not very nice on Gordon, but I don't think he can hear. Yeah, because he's not got any of the lining missing. Look, they're all painted, which is good. And his splashes are also painted with the red lining. And his running board is done in that lovely traditional grey, with the red stripe along it, of course. I will show you inside his cab, because there is a little bit of cab detail inside there. None of it's painted though, but it's nice to have that inside there. And on the sides of the cab as well, you can see more of that red lining, and of course the yellow lining around the glazed windows. So generally, I think it's one of the best of the range, just because of that extra moulded detail you get. Okay, let's have a look at the tender, and I won't spend long on the tender because as far as I can tell it's the same tender as on Gordon and James and whatnot. But as you can see, nicely painted with his number 2 on the side there, and you've got the same old coal load, which is a little bit chunky but very nice and very toy-like, so I do like that. Okay, so that is it. As you can see, quite a nicely detailed model. Obviously it's not like a super detailed model or anything, it's still pretty much like a toy, but it's one of the best toys you can get, I'm sure. Okay, let's put him down onto the tracks then, and let's see what he can pull, shall we? Alright, so Edward is onto the track, looking absolutely fantastic, and I'm going to run him in just a second, but first of all I'll show you who else is going to be running. Here you can see we have Gordon and James double heading here, and you'll see their coaches in a second when they go past, but they've got lots and lots and lots of them. So let me get these guys started then. I'll just bring them past the camera for you, and I'll run them again once it comes onto the running session. But there you go, there's a little chance to see just how many coaches they've got. See if you can let me know in the comments just how many that is, because I've not counted. But yeah, quite a lot, as you can tell. And then on the very inner line we have everybody's friend, which is Thomas, squeaking round the corner here. Here he comes with Annie and Clarabelle. So I'll just let him go past Edward, and then we'll get Edward tested. Okay, so let's give Edward a little bit of slow speed testing then. I'm just going to turn his power on then very, very, very slowly. There you go. As you can see, that 5-pole motor in his tender is really, really good at slow speeds. He is moving at that speed. Yeah, so as you know, I'm not keen on tender driven locos, and I wish he was loco driven, but let's be honest here, that isn't going to get a lot better, is it? That is just brilliant. Speed him up a touch. Not too smooth at that speed, but it was very smooth at the slowest speed. Let's bring him back into shot then, see if he's any smoother in reverse. Yeah, a little bit jolty at that speed, but he's certainly not bad, is he? Right, well done Edward, good lad. Okay, well as you can see, he's about to be coupling up to these teak coaches. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, plus a Thomas and Friends utility van at the back. So that should be good. Let's get him to back up to those then, and couple to them. There he goes. Let's get him into the middle. Right, well there we go then. Edward's got his passenger train, and somebody did ask me to run these teaks with him, by the way, so thank you to whoever it was. I'm sorry I've forgotten who it was, but I have done that for you. And also a quick shout out to MCG Thomas, number 167 Productions, who also wanted a shout out. But without any further ado, let's get Edward running then. Oh, come on Edward, go forwards. That's a lad. Hope you like the layout, Edward. Don't think you've run on it before, have you? Oh well, there we go then. And I'll start the other characters, and let's have a running session. See if you can spot which other characters are out on the line. Now here comes Edward and Thomas. You'll notice I've got all of the blue engines running today, so that's, well, I suppose James is coming on things, but yeah, I've got all 3 of the blue ones running. Edward is looking very, very smart, especially with the teaks. And I bought that van at the back from an antiques fair, but I never thought to show it before, so yes, there it is. There go James and Gordon together, looking very good, with all of their coaches. Yep, quite a strong pair, aren't they, to manage all that lot. It's quite impressive. And there's Thomas, of course, with Annie and Clarabelle. Here they come again then. Thought I'd get another shot of this big train. Oh gosh, Gordon overexposes things a bit, doesn't he? But yeah, it's a bit of a mixture. They're all teaks, but some of them are the blood and custard ones. And there's also a sleeping car thrown in there too, which is quite nice. And of course there's no wiser person to put in charge of an express train than Edward, so he's just the right engine for the job. And he pulls that with a lot of pride, I think, don't you? And who else have we got? Here we are. And they're very impressive too. I'll have to say that, you see, otherwise James gets a bit upset. But yeah, James, you're doing very well. Very, very good. There we go, gotta say that. And now for my ratings then on the Hornby Edward. First of all, detail 7 out of 10, pretty good detail, better than some of the others I think, but only by a hair. Performance 8 out of 10, very good performance, but as always I always deduct 1 mark because it's tender driven and another mark because of the use of traction tyres, but otherwise excellent performance. Character 9 out of 10, he really does have a lot of character and he's got a brilliant face, so good score there. Build quality 9 out of 10, it's not bad, obviously the lamp irons are a bit dodgy and I don't know, the dome seems to be a bit badly applied. There's a little gap that you can see when it's stuck onto the boiler, but not bad anyway. Value, I paid £59 for him, so that's not bad, 8 out of 10. So overall then, 8.18 out of 10, and if we put him into the rankings, there he goes, that puts him 18th, just above the Hornby Ginty and just below the Crosty 9F. Okay, let's test Edward's performance up this very slight hill in the room then. Well, it's very slightly uphill, but you might see him slow down once he gets up to the top here. Oh, he did actually. Oh, he slowed right down. Look at this. Oh dear. I think Gordon and James might be overtaking him soon. I think we'll have to follow this and see what happens. We'll see what they're doing when they come out the other side of the bookshelf. Come on then, let's go live. Oh no, Edward's still in front, but only just. Go on, Gordon. I mean, I'm not trying to race them. I don't encourage competitions between them, but this is fun, isn't it? Well, a lot of people were asking for train races, so here we go. Let's keep following them, shall we? I'm sorry if my camera work gets a bit shaky then. Oh, I think James is just edging past. Is he going to overtake? He might do on this corner. Oh look, they're running together, they're running together. Ooh, Edward's not happy, is he? He's trying to take it back, but no, I think he's lost it. I'm not a very good commentator, am I? Sorry. Oh, and he's gotten slowed down on the curve. Oh well, Edward, good try. I think he's just about been overtaken, but wow, look at those coaches. Don't they all look good? Right, do you fancy a quick train ride then? If I put you on, I think we'll put you on James and Gordon's train. Alright, here we go then. Oh dear, James and Gordon are looking a bit tired, aren't they? No, I did slow them down a bit. Just because they were making a bit of a funny noise, but no, they were okay. There we go. Gives Edward a chance to catch up on them a bit. Okay folks, well that will just about do it for today. That was my review of Edward and I am very pleased with him, so I hope you enjoyed seeing him as well. If you did, please feel free to leave the video a like or even a comment because that really does help me out. And also if you'd like to, please feel free to check out the Facebook and Twitter pages, which are at facebook.com/samstrains or twitter.com/samstrains. Here's a little bit more on the wall of fame then. As you can see, it's filling up nicely, and if you want to put any of your work up on there, just send in your photos to samstrains@outlook.com and I will put those up for you. But for now folks, thank you once again for watching. Lovely to have your company as always, and I will see you next time. Cheers everybody.